Right, okay, so I'm just going to work through these really and just pick them up as I'm sort of going along. Okay, first one. Let's do this. This here is the first palette I have, and this is the Makeup Revolution Life on the Dance Floor. To be really honest, I actually bought this for the packaging and now I'm just like not fussed at all. So this is what it looks like. Let me do a zoom in. So I'm not sure you can even get this anymore. I'm assuming you can, but to be fair, this is not really my vibe anymore. If I'm honest, like these shades here are really nice, but I have literally not touched this other than to swatch it. So I don't know, because it's like quite nice, but let me just swatch a few. Well, that's what they look like, and they're nice, but I just don't use them that often. So yeah, I'm not like really too sure if I want to declutter too much, but it's just for me to go through it and just to see what I have, because I'm like sick to death of like wanting to keep buying new stuff. I've got here the Coco Blend palette from Zoeva, and this is just one of my favourite palettes. I'm never going to get rid of this at all, and I will continue to buy it for as long as it's available. As you can see, I've hit pan on quite a few, but this is a palette that I could take with me and sort of spice it up with this sort of like pinky shade here, which is just so pretty. I'm gonna go with this one here, and this is the Red Velvet from Makeup Revolution. So I have actually done like a whole swatch of this on my channel. I think I did a makeup look with it as well, and it's a really, really pretty palette. Don't be fooled by this hot pink, like this neon pink. It just doesn't, it's not what it is in the pan. It's a really beautiful warm toned palette, and yeah, I like it. It's not my favorite, but we're gonna work with it, and it's cute. Nice packaging too, and it's super nice packaging as well. Next I've got, do you know what, I stole this off my mum. Yeah, she was literally like, do you want this? And I was like, yes, hello. And it is like the most basic eyeshadow palette ever. It's from, where is it? Oh god, it's from Unique. Look, I've got no problem with Unique. You know, like there's nothing they've done to me personally, but I just don't like how the brand was sort of like shoved down people's throats. But I've got to be honest, this is a really, like, really good palette. Next, I'm going to go to my Huda Beauties, and this is the first ever palette that I had from Huda Beauty, and it is the Textured Rose Gold palette. This is the very first one, because I think she reformulated it. Issues with these top shades, which I didn't notice, to be fair. Like, I just sort of, like, I don't know, like, watered them down, I guess. Maybe I just used sort of like a mixing liquid with them, and they worked really well. So the only few shades I don't like I don't like 24K at all. It just doesn't suit me whatsoever. And they are quite chunky, I've got to be honest. But I prefer those over the mattes, because the mattes are absolutely bloody dreadful. Can we also just take a second to appreciate my dog? Like, what is that pose? That is me after wine. This is my dog. Okay, so I'm gonna go to this Makeup Revolution one. There's no way on earth I'm like ever gonna get rid of this. This is the Chilled palette, and I've had my eyes on this for such a long time. This video is doing incredibly well. Like, I filmed a little tutorial with this, and please focus, there you go. So yeah, I filmed a tutorial with this, and this is an unbelievable palette. I really, really like it. Some of the mattes are not so great, but the rest of the shades sort of make up for it, so there's no way I'm getting rid of this. This palette I have coming up is the Ace Beauty palette. I've also done another look on this. I think I've swatched this already in like a lot of depth, and then also done like another little tutorial. This is so lovely. Like, it's a beautiful palette to work with. It's quite difficult to use all of the shades in one go, but when you split them into like little quads, so do you know what I mean? Like, if you were to split like these 4 shades into like a little mini quad, same for these 4 shades, that sort of thing. Okay, next palette I have is one from Technic. This is their Pro Finish Molten Lava palette, which is very much kind of like, I don't know what this is like actually. I was thinking maybe the Anastasia Beverly Hills like Modern Renaissance palette. Let me just show you this up close. It is such like a beautiful palette, and it's so inexpensive. Like Technic is such a inexpensive brand. It is so beautiful. Okay, on top of that is my Modern Renaissance palette. Love this so much. Look how beat up that is, but it's a sign that I use the palette. Also, I love the fact that these palettes sit like this. Like when you're doing your makeup, you just feel so pro. I don't use sort of like Love Letter, Antique Bronze, like a lot of these to be fair. But yeah, I like having the option there. And this is like a palette that I take away on sort of like if I'm traveling or like staying away at somebody's house. And when I say somebody, my parents. Next is a really special one for me actually, because when my YouTube channel first started taking off, I was, oh, cute. So when I was first, like when my YouTube channel really sort of took off and started to grow in terms of like subscribers and stuff, those were the days. Sigma actually reached out to me and they were like, hey, like we really like your channel and we just want to send you like a whole bunch of products to use. And in this was this Sigma Warm Neutrals palette, and I love this. This is kind of like Modern Renaissance, and I take this with me like as another option to travel. I love every shade. Maybe not this one as much, but I love every shade in this palette. It works so well, and I feel like Sigma needs to get like back in the game. So next two are two little palettes again from Technic, and I have the shades Persephone and also Medusa, which I have here. So this is what they look like, if it's going to focus. So this is what they look like, and they're tiny tiddly little palettes that are really cute and also look. But yeah, so they have like 3 shades. Now they do have sort of like glitter overlays on the top of them, but I'm not a big fan of these little palettes unless it's like a shade that I will use. So, you know, I think to be fair, I could probably kiss goodbye to these. The next one I have is Medusa, and Medusa is like the purple version, which is really nice, and I really like the like purpley shades in this, but I feel like I just don't wear, you know, I just feel like I don't wear purple enough. But the shade in the middle is like a really nice, is it periwinkle shade? The next one I have here is this Wet n Wild palette. This is my Glamour Squad, and can I just say, Wet n Wild do some of the nicest eyeshadows ever. So I always used to see these when I used to watch like American, you know, YouTubers and stuff, and I feel like there was one that was really hyped about, and I think one of the shades was like a dupe for Club from MAC maybe. This for me is something that I'll wear on a daily basis. I don't really feel like I wear gold anymore, so, or like the pinks, like I just don't wear those. But the shades here, sort of like the deeper ones, are so beautiful, and this is so inexpensive. Okay, next two, oh my god, I literally, these are so nostalgic for me. So these are, this one here and here are my two Z palettes. Now, they all contain my Makeup Geek eyeshadow pans. Now, let me tell you, okay, when Beauty Bay first started out, now, I remember when these eyeshadow pans came out, and I remember I was in the car, I had very little signal, I saw these and they were like £1 or 2 each, and I'm not kidding you, I made like 2 orders of like £70, and I think the other was like £50. And when these arrived, bloody hell, I was so excited. Now, I still use these. Now, I have to say, with Makeup Geek, some of the shades, so like these 2 shades here, and maybe like a few others, they kind of blend away to nothing. I think that's a MAC shadow actually, I think it is. So yeah, they kind of like blend away to nothing, but the warm tones, my god, they create the best look ever. And then the other ones here are quite nostalgic as well. So at the top I have their like foiled shades, which are amazing. Like, can you remember Jaclyn Hill like ranting and raving about these because they're so good? So yeah, these are some of my, I don't know why on earth I bought that one, can you see? Okay, look at that. That is incredible. But yeah, they honestly do some of like the best foils ever. Now, all the ones on the bottom, I actually ordered straight from Colourpop, and I did a video on this years ago. And this is like the duochrome collection. So let me just swatch a few because they still make me like really excited. And when these first come out, my God, I was, oh, jeez. Let me switch another interesting one. So yeah, basically, like I use these. Oh my God, you guys! I wish you could see this. Like, oh my God, I forgot how much I freaking love these. Oh my God. So yeah, when I bought these, I was super excited. This one here, yes, we are so gonna use these. Like I said, I don't care how old they are. Next is the Beauty Bay. What is this? EYN Bright Matte. I was gonna say mate. It looks a little something like this, and to be fair, I've got each and every one of these shades. I could probably give this away. Will I? I don't know, because I've got an addiction. But to be fair, when I talk to you about my Be Perfect shades, I don't think I actually need this. This is the Brown Sugar palette from Colourpop. I was gifted this a while ago, and annoyingly, like the pans have like fallen out of the casing. Do you know what? The thing is, you guys, at the minute, I'm not going to go on too much about like ranting and raving with this. Colourpop are just doing my head in at the minute. Like they are like pushing out so many products, and I feel like I don't go on Instagram for 2 hours and they've got a new product out. So it's no disrespect towards Colourpop because they're beautiful. Like the you know, the brand is amazing, but I feel like they're a bit like Makeup Revolution at the minute, where they just keep pumping stuff out and I'm like, stop. But anyway, I use every shade in this palette. It's amazing. It really is so beautiful, and I hope I can still get this. Also, another one from Colourpop, I have the Yes Please palette from, okay, stop it. Okay, so this is the Yes Please palette from Colourpop, and again, really nice. I use quite a few of these shades. Probably not Buttercake or Mischief, maybe. But yeah, oh my God, like look at this orange shade. How nice is this? Again, I hope you can still get this because I really like this palette. And then I think my last one from Colourpop is the Shayla, like collaboration. Hey! The Shayla with Colourpop collection, and again, this is one of my favourite eyeshadow palettes. I often forget about it, but the packaging on this, not that I care too much for packaging, that's cool. That's like a hair flick for your eyeshadow palette. I probably use every last shade in here. Well, I have at some point anyway, but the ones that I use more frequently are sort of like this owl shape. But Sassy, which reminds me very much like MAC Blue Brown Pigment. This is so underrated. Like, this is such a beautiful like shade. Let me see if I can get like a proper close-up. Can you see that? Just look how silky soft that looks as well. What I have is a Vice palette from Urban Decay, and this is my only what is this? Urban Decay eyeshadow palette that is God knows how old. Now, I don't actually use this on my eyes anymore. Although actually I do use these mattes and these here. Oh, let me just try Dragon, because that looks freaking amazing. Wow. Why do I stop using this palette? Wow, the pigment on that is so nice. I tend to use this when I'm doing like makeup looks for like Halloween. I don't know why, but oh, let me do Freeze as well because that looks really nice. But yeah, I don't, oh my God. Well, I do tend to use these more like smoky shades here, but I'm really after like a smoky grey cool toned palette at the minute, so that's what I've got up until now. Okay, let's get these two bad boys out the way, because let's be fair, I am never getting rid of these. I am going to get rid of the palettes and be brave. Not the palettes, the packaging, and be brave, because they're just an annoyance. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, we did it. Right, so I am never ever on this earth going to get rid of these because they are my favourites, and to be, you know, truly frank, I don't think that I need any other, let me just zoom in. I personally don't think that Sorry guys, my battery completely went. So yeah, as I was saying, I am never ever going to get rid of these two palettes because, to be fair, I could throw away all my other palettes today and, you know, just never need another one because I've got these two. So I think this is like the original, what is it, Carnival palette. So yeah, and then I have the Carnival palette, which I was so excited to get. Oh my god, I was so excited for this, and I've done a review on it on my channel. And this shade and that shade speaks to me every time. So yeah, these are two that I am just like never ever going to get rid of. I love them, and they feel different. They kind of feel the same, but they are different, I guess. Okay, last for you guys. We are getting through it. Jeez. Okay, let me just talk about these three really quick. So these are sleek palettes, and yeah, I don't like sleek eyeshadows very much, to be honest, but I've kept them because I don't actually, believe it or not, have these exact shades in any of my other palettes. So I keep this because it's quite cool toned, it's quite muted. This here is a really beautiful shade, so I like to keep that. That's the Storm palette, by the way. I also have the Enchanted Forest one. Now, I have got one, you know, like shades like this, but I quite like the like silver, and because believe it or not, I don't actually have a silver. I don't think. Maybe I do actually, that was a lie. But yeah, I quite like some of the cool tone ones here, and the lighter sort of shades are really pretty as well. And then also have the original palette, which looks like this, and I don't know why I've kept this because I don't actually need it, to be fair. But I think I've kept it for, oh actually I take that back, maybe I do really like, oh god, actually they're actually really nice, like quite nice actually. Oh, some do job, there you go. Wow, they are actually really nice. Oh my god, I might film a makeup look with this. Okay, Huda Beauty palette. Right, let me just get rid of this packaging because, again, we don't need it. Stop making it happen. Right, this is the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. Love this. I think this is so, so pretty. I'm going to keep this because this is kind of cute. This is a really beautiful palette, like absolutely exceptionally beautiful. And this is, like, if I could design any palette, it would be this, because this is just so beautiful. And Blood Moon and Retrograde, and you know, every other shade in here is amazing. Not a big fan of the glitter, but you know, I sort of work with it. The palette I've got here from, where is this? PS, which is Primark or Primark, however you describe it. Love this, and I actually keep this £2 sticker on as like a badge of, you know, success. And this is a dupe for an Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. And like I said, this was £2. I love all the shades in here, maybe apart from Teeny Bikini and Island Love, which are pinks and golds, which apparently I don't like very much. But yeah, really, really good, real travel friendly. And it just folds back, like, it just like folds back. Like, I don't know why this is so pleasing. Revolution, the 1 Million palette. I don't know if you can still get this. I don't think you can. But this is really good for sort of like really glam, you know, like shimmery looks, I guess. Really beautiful shades in here, and I feel like they're really, really buttery. And again, I love sort of the more like this, I love more like this scale of shades. Cherry palette from Makeup. No, this is not. This is Primark or Primark. This was like £4, I think. I've done a review of this on my channel as well. This is really nice. There's a lot of shades that are quite similar, and sort of like these dark red tones and a gold. Surprise, surprise. I probably won't use very much, but the other shades, like these 2, 3, and then maybe like these in the bottom, they're really nice. These are so old. These are from Girls with Attitude, and I've got the Smoky oh, I have got a Smoky palette. Oh, for God's sake, I was so close to buying a Smoky palette, and I just realised I've actually got one. This is why we do these things, you guys. So this is the Smoky palette. Now, I don't think that you can get these anymore, if I'm honest, but they're very much like Urban Decay like naked palettes. That's great. I'm so glad actually I've got these. So this here is an absolute dupe for, it's either the naked 1 or 2, which I don't even know if you can still get. Like, I feel old, do you know what I mean? Like, why is it makeup, Urban Decay even, like, stop doing their naked palettes? They might not, I could be wrong, but. Right, I've got another one here from Technic. This is the Colour Max Face and Eyes palette. I haven't thrown this away because I really like this, so I take this away. So I use the bronzer, the blush, the highlights, and then these shades at the top, which are just really nice and like really autumnal. So I'm keeping that. W7 on the rocks, something else that you can buy in like B&M and like Home Bargains and stuff. This is a dupe, I believe, for one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. It looks like really identical. But these are really, really good. The mattes are super buttery and pigmented, and it's a really good, inexpensive palette that I quite like when I'm feeling a bit more like foresty. Now, what I don't get is this is neutrals on ice. So when I open this up, like that didn't make sense to me because I feel like this is more of like a forest green look. So maybe they should have named it In the Woods, you know. So next to I was gifted from, I can't remember where it was, but the brand is Bad Habit, and then Face Candy. This is the most annoying packaging in the whole world. But it's a dupe for one of the Too Faced palettes, and I really like this. I do have a video on these, and I'll link that down below. But yeah, really like this. They're super buttery, and they're a great dupe for Too Faced. And then the Retro Love palette, I believe, is a dupe for, again, like another modern, no, not modern Renaissance, Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, which oddly, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh my god, how weird is that? Them two are like identical, kind of. Oh my god, do I need both? Yeah, I do actually, and I'm gonna keep them, and I have an addiction. We're at the last hurdle. I'm so desperate for a cup of tea. Right, so I've got this Morphe palette here, which is the 350 palette, and this is like a real OG and old packaging. Again, love this. I have to be honest, if I could, you know, I feel like you could like simplify a lot of these shades because they are like identical but just in different spots. So like these three are identical, those are identical. You know, like there's a lot of shades that are pretty similar in here. But again, I love this. It's really nice and formulated really well. And yeah, love it. And final two, I've got the Peanut Butter Cup and also the Naked Chocolate palette. I love the packaging for these, by the way. So the Peanut Butter Cup palette, I've done a look on already, and it's not my favorite palette, but it is quite a cute palette, and it has some really pretty shades in here. I don't know why I'm swatching them because I've already swatched them. And then lastly is the Red Chocolate. Ew, okay, that's annoying. So yeah, again, I wanted to keep this because whilst it's not the most interesting for me, I want like a very basic neutral cool tone palette, and this works really, really well for me. But I do feel like the shades are like quite gross, like they crumble up really easy, which means I probably need to throw it out, but you know. So yeah, this is nice, and yay, I don't need to buy a new palette now. So, you know, this is why I do these videos, because I don't want to keep spending loads of money on palettes and like neglecting all of the other ones, because I don't want to be like too much of a wasteful society. Right, so my camera is going to die, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was enjoyable, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!